July 5th, 2007, Margate, England. At the Dublin Castle in Camden, London, the sound guy looks exactly like Phil Lynott from the band Thin Lizzy. Man, did that trip me out, thinking the guy who wrote the songs The Rocker, Jailbreak, Emerald, The Boys Are Back in Town is actually asking me to check my levels. Check my levels? It's one mic, dude. So you just be up there chatting away then, eh? Yup, I say. The set goes really well, and although I am on the flyer, no one, with the exceptions of my friends Annika, Chrissy, and James, know who the hell I am or what the hell I'm going to do. So most of the people in the room are slack-jawed with shit-eating grins on their faces as I go batshit performing pieces about Slayer and hot girls about to shit in my car. I meet some cool people, and Phil Lynott likes the set, trade some discs, and realize that I don't draw enough people in London to get paid. The next band comes on and starts ripping off the Jam and Radiohead. My friends and I look into each other's eyes, and we know, man, it was psychic. It's time to go to the Cro-Bar in Soho. Now, I don't like doing touristy things. You know, I like to go to the local art museum, walk around, and then find a place that is just like any kind of place I would hang out with by myself. A place with people like me, rock and rollers. So, as we get inside the Cro-Bar, which is such an establishment, the place is just one long corridor with comic book pieces repasted to the walls. As I get inside, I order myself a Budvar and, sorry, I'm all fucked up here, a Budvar and buy a round for my friends. We get to chatting and then we realize that we're cutting each other off on every conversation. James explains his theories on global warming. Then Chrissy asks about people from back home. Then I gloat about my band and look like an egotistical asshole. Then Annika asks about the Garrison boys. Auntie's getting married, Annika says. No, I protest. Really? Then, seemingly out of nowhere, I am attacked from behind! Not by a man twice my size who believes that the death penalty is a good time on a Saturday night, but by a petite girl. At the very top of my neck, at the base, at the very top of my back, at the base of my neck, to the right of my spinal column, this young lass sinks her teeth into my flesh. And I cringe, and a look of sheer pain and drunken laughter emerge from my face. Annika and Chrissy seem visibly horrified. James widens his pearly whites into a perfect smile. The girl releases her grip, and a sore spasm develops in the place of the bite. The perfect ego-driven, listen to me because I think I'm important fashion, I stand up straight as can be and say, so, what was I saying? Shock and confusion display themselves perfectly on Chrissy and Annika's faces. James leans towards me and says, bite her back, mate. What? I question, knowing full well that I can go on stage with barely an ounce of nervousness, but when it comes to biting strange women in British hard rock pubs, I turn into a pansy with a sudden craving for a manicure. Go on then, give her a bite then, eh? James taunts me. Ah, fuck it, I tell myself. I take one last swig of Budvar, walk over to the chick's table, and bite the shit out of her. Right on the shoulder, above her collarbone, I rip into her like a feral human, raised not by actual parents, but by Slayer's Rain and Blood album on repeat, day after day, after day, after day, after day. I sit back down with my friends, and the petite girl comes back around, plants herself on my lap, and says 3 words that I will never forget for as long as I live. I'm Vampire Samantha! At this point, I realize that Vampire Samantha is a sloppy, drunken, goth mess. Hi, Vampire Samantha. I'm Duncan Wilder Johnson. The heavy metal... fuck it. Right, you American then, she says. I didn't vote for that asshole, I say. And soon enough, my almost vampire girlfriend leaves, and a beautiful, taunt blonde woman takes her seat. Now bite her, mate, James says. Fuck you, dude, I say. I'm not gonna bite anyone else tonight. At this point, James, in front of his wife, pinches the ass of the blonde woman while she pays the waitress for her drink. The blonde woman turns around with a look on her face that can only be described as the exact opposite of a good time. Duncan, you naughty American, you dirty boy, James says, attempting to frame me for misogyny. I quell the situation by apologizing to the woman who is from Berlin and is there with her American boyfriend from the great state of Ohio. We get to chatting, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and James is giving away copies of my samplers, telling people that I'm some big deal performer from America. The other patrons strain their necks and look at me as if to say, he doesn't look like he's a very big deal. The boyfriend from Ohio reminds me that it is the mighty 4th of July and that we are in what used to be ground zero for enemy territory. It is time to fight back, to retaliate against these fascists who dictate taxation without representation. The Ohioan stands up on a stool and begins to belt the Star-Spangled Banner. As a patriot and someone who kind of digs dissent, I attempt to join him, but forget that I have had countless bottles of Bud Bar, nameless shots of things that tasted like crosses between rubbing alcohol and apple jawbreakers, and more sips than I care to think about of Annika's 2-pound Coke and Bullet bourbons. Thusly, I knock over all the drinks on our table like thousands of barrels cascading over Niagara Falls, the contents of which spill all over Chrissy. Annika screams, "Look what you've done, you bastard!" I eye Chrissy, who now sports a massive frown on her face. I feel bad, but this is no time for emotion. I must defend my country. Too bad I'm a sorry excuse for a soldier, because I can't even remember the words to my own country's fucking theme song. Embarrassed and way drunk, we part ways with Annika and hop into a cab and head back to Chrissy and James's flat in Ealing. I tell them that I've got a spliff, and Chrissy says, "Duncan, how did you get weed in England?" Chrissy, "I'm Duncan Wilder Johnson." I conceitedly return as if that's some kind of solid fucking answer. James and I retreat to the courtyard to smoke the British ganja. He gives reviews of the weed between his hits. "Oh yeah, that's quite nice." "That's quite lovely." And my personal favorite. "Exciting." We walk back to the flat, and James inquires, "Fancy a bit of toast and a glass of milk, then?" Sure," I say, never thinking of milk and toast as drunk food until this particular moment. "Now for the toast," James continues, "we've got Marmite, peanut butter, and French honey." I opt for the French honey, because it's honey with an outrageous accent! I don't even remember falling asleep on the couch, but when I wake up, James is calling his boss at his bank job, letting him know that he'll be late. James then learns that he can't get the hand stamp off of his hand from my show, adding insult to injury. Now I'm in Margate. It's a seaside town about 3 or 4 hours southeast of London. I slept the whole coach ride out here. It reminds me of Revere, Mass, or a Jersey town. There's a long stretch of beach with carnival-type amusements. The vampire bite is sore as it rubs against my backpack. The wind is strong, but it feels nice here. I hope the show goes well. The last 2 have been great. I can only hope for more luck.
Yeah.